So Shane Bailey will start out front row on the inside in this one. Shane out of Lathrop, Missouri, in that 7 car is outside. We'll find Springfield's James Thompson, the 11T. Row 2 on the inside. It's going to be Sean Knuckles. Knuckles out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri, the 76K car, alongside Oak Grove, Missouri's Chad Lyle, the 16X. Row 3 on the inside, it's Jimmy Dow out of Boonville, Missouri, the 88 car, alongside Robbie Test out of Jefferson City in the 27T. Joseph Giesler will line up 4th row on the inside. St. Mary's, Missouri, in the 85G car, alongside Glenn Brady, the 24T out of Springville, Arkansas. Row 5 on the inside, the 84C, that is Craig Yeoman. Yeoman will line up on the inside of row number 5. To his outside, we will find Sean Duncan out of Lockwood, Missouri, in the D7. And your final start in this one will be Ryan McDermott out of Dittmer, Missouri. So the first of 3 modified B mains, top 2 drivers out of each of those go to the show as we're laying down a little more moisture around the racing surface. We almost had a little contact there between the Mr. Water Truck and the 88 of Dow. The old water truck made a wholesale lane change and the 88 of Dow was not quite ready for it. That's Hoffman behind the wheel of that thing, too, isn't it?
Reminds me of that time in NASCAR. I forgot who the driver was, but they hit the jet jar and the fuel hit the race car hit the jet jar and the fuel came out and, had a fire on the racetrack. But that Jerry Hoffman, he's a hard worker here at Springfield Raceway, and I've seen him do a lot of things. I've seen him jump out of a moving water truck to turn the generator back on. He loves this racing facility, and the most important thing that he wants here at Springfield Raceway is to make sure that this track is in the best condition that it can be in.
I tell you, Jerry's pretty good at wind sprints from the looks of that deal. He can move a little bit better than I thought he could. I was wondering who'd make a wholesale lane change like that, and then Hoffman jumps out of the water truck, and it's like, oh, now it all makes sense. He is a hustler here, though. He does a great job with this racing program, and I think half the field was ready to go racing there, like we saw in heat racing action a little bit earlier on tonight. That big bright yellow light just sometimes doesn't quite send the message it's supposed to. Here we go. Caution lights are out. B main and number 1 for the mods. Top 2 go to the show. And the green flag's in the air. James Thompson quickly grabs the top spot off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Thompson to the lead early in this one. Knuckles down to the inside of the 7 of Shane Bailey. We'll keep an eye on Sean Knuckles. He'll slide up to take the top side away from Bailey. Bailey has a pretty good drive down the backstretch. The top 2, that's all that go to the show here this evening. Right now, Chad Lyle on the outside looking in. We'll see if the Oak Grove, Missouri racer can work his way into the show in that MB Custom 16X car. He was a big $3,000 winner back on Memorial Day weekend of the Central Missouri Speedway. Right now, 2 spots outside of a transfer position to the 16S. As he works down to the inside of the 7 of Shane Bailey. Bailey in a side-by-side battle for the 3rd place spot now as Chad Lyle is able to grab that spot off of turn number 4. Bailey trying to take it back to no avail, though. We'll put Lyle into 3rd. Now Lyle will try to track down the 76 of Knuckles as Shane Bailey heads off the racetrack over in turn number 2. He was pointed straight for the concrete on exit, and he's got that thing loaded up and is coming to a safe exit down the back straightaway, so Shane Bailey will drop off. In this one is James Thompson and Sean Knuckles setting the top 2 transfer spots right now. Chad Lyle on the hunt right now, trying to challenge the 76 of Knuckles for the final transfer spot in this one. The Oak Grove, Missouri veteran trying to get after it right now in that 3rd place spot. James Thompson just over a half a straightaway advantage for the Springfield Raceway track champion as he paces the field in this one. Second still Knuckles, as Chad Lyle continues to go to work on the 76 of Knuckles. He'll look down to the inside through turns 1 and 2, trying to make it happen, and he will. He'll grab that final transfer spot away from Knuckles. Lyle now in the show, and in due time, white flag in the air. One more lap to go for Thompson. Chad Lyle in the final transfer spot. Knuckles not within reach here on the final lap of this one. A B main and number 1 will go to the 11T of James Thompson. Thompson and Lyle punch their ticket in this one as the rest of the field crosses under the checkered flag. So there you have it. The dust settles on a B main number 1. Second goes to Chad Lyle. He grabs the final transfer spot. Your B main winner from right here in Springfield, it's a Hoffman race car for the Hayden Machinery, number 11T. James Thompson wins the opening B main for the Modifieds. So James Thompson and Chad Lyle, your first 2 transfers for the Modifieds, as we'll bring out B main number 2. Steve Picue will be on the pole. This one, the High Ridge, Missouri racer in the OX car. His outside, Canyon Methvin, the 41 from Yellville, Arkansas. Trevor Drake will start second row on the inside, the 12D. The Webb City, Missouri native now from right here in Springfield. He'll start on the inside of row number 2. Caden Mitchell will line up to his outside. Mitchell out of Finch, Arkansas. Row 3 to the inside, the fellow Arkansas racer out of Greenwood. It's the 6 of Jason Payton. To Peyton's outside, another Arkansas racer in this one, Larry Brady. Brady out of Springdale in the 30X car. Row 4 to the inside will be Brad Golson. Golson, the 62 out of Imboden, Arkansas. And his outside will find Weston Finley out of Nixa, Missouri, the 13. Leroy Morrison out of Raymore, Missouri, the 50 on the inside of row 5. Carmen Vincent is outside in the 17. And Bob Curbs, the 120 out of Nevada, Missouri, your final starter in this one. Just like that, we've stacked them up, and we're ready to go green and B main number 2. 10 laps, top 2 go to the show. Top 2 advance. Canyon Methvin will lead him off of turn number 2, but we've got a car around at the bottom of 2 into the big dirt mound at the bottom of the speedway in Bowden, Arkansas. Brad Golson loops it around, and the caution flag will have to wave here at the start of B main number 2 for the Modifieds. Bad Boy Mowers, Turkey Bowl 13. Schoenfeld Headers, Day Motorsports, Performance Bodies, Weir's Machine, all great marketing partners of this event. Of course, Performance Bodies with a $400 lap leader bonus on lap number 4 in memory of Mike Clark. So thanks to Performance Bodies for the support of this event and that lap leader money on lap number 4 to pay tribute to Mike Clark. All right, here we go. B main number 2 of 3 for the Modifieds. Trevor Drake, a slide job for the top spot. Steve Picue will cross him over out of turn number 2. So Steve Picue in a pretty good dogfight here in the early goings with Trevor Drake. Canyon Methvin right there in the 3rd place spot. Jason Payton in 4th. Picue will have the lead down the back straightaway. Drake to 2nd. Methvin, those top 3 trying to break away from the rest of the field here in the 2nd of 3 modified B mains. Steve Picue, the OX car racing out of High Ridge, Missouri. He sees Trevor Drake taking a look to his outside. Drake trying to get the momentum wound up beneath that Speedway Motors number 12D car. Dirt works for the 12D of Trevor Drake as he works in the second final transfer spot. Those two have pulled away from Arkansas racers Canyon Methvin and Jason Payton, who run third, fourth in this one. Larry Brady rounding out the top 5. As Steve Pecue has absolutely set sail here in B main number 2. Pecue, Drake, still the top 2 of this one. Methvin being challenged down the inside by Jason Payton. Good race for the third place spot. Payton in the 6th down to the inside of Methvin. Those two side by side. Now will door to door down the back straightaway. Payton along the bottom groove of the speedway. Methvin rolling the high line. Payton trying to slide up to take the top side away, and he will. A nice slider there out of the 6 of Jason Payton to grab that third place spot away from Canyon Methvin. As Larry Brady continues to round out your top 5 runners in this one. Steve Pecue, the OX machine out of High Ridge, Missouri, stretching his legs a little bit over the 12D of Trevor Drake. Jason Payton with a lot of ground to make up and not a lot of time to work with as we got a car around in turn number 2. And at this angle, I can't quite tell who the driver is that went around at the bottom of turn number 2. Looks to be the 30 of Brady. So Larry Brady going around to the bottom of turn number 2. B main number 2 of 3 for the Modifieds. Then we've got 4 B mains for the B mods. That will wrap up all the B main action here this evening. We'll roll into the Legend A, the Midwest A. Then we'll have a break for track prep. At least that is the tentative schedule, as the green flag quickly comes back out here on B main number 2. See if Jason Payton can take advantage of the restart. Work down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Look to the inside of Trevor Drake. Drake fended him off through turns 1 and 2 that time. We'll see if Payton can capitalize on the restart as the 62 goes around in turn number 4. That's Brad Golson. And we will slow the field once again. Brad Golson around to the bottom of turn number 4. Hearing that's his second caution, I do believe. So the Emboden, Arkansas racer will have to head pit side, assuming he fires that thing back up without assistance. 2 cautions for the 62 of Golson. So I mentioned there just before we went back to green flag racing, 1 more modified B after this. 4 B mod B mains. The Legend A, the Midwest Modified A, before a break to rework the racing surface. Then we will have a late model hot lap session, the B mod A, the late model A, the modified A, and the mini late model A. That's the running order for the remainder of the Bad Boy Mowers Turkey Bowl 13. Brought to you by Schoenfeld Headers, Day Motorsports, Performance Bodies and Wears Machine, and tonight.
For all of your latest videos, go to videos.showmedirt.com.
Thanks to all the marketing partners here at the Springfield Raceway as well.
Videos.showmedirt.com.
To bring you Bad Boy Mowers Turkey Bowl 13. Not sure, but the 60, there we go. He's pulling forward now as the push truck is able to shove him up and over that berm at the bottom of turn number 4. So I believe the field will be shown the furled up green flag this time by the flag stand. B main at number 2 of 3 for the mods. Looking for the top 2 drivers to move into tonight's 2,000 to win, 300 to start A main. So here we go, single file, nose to tail. Steve Picue, the OX car, brings us back up to speed. We're back underway. Good restart for Trevor Drake. Those two trying to run away and hide from the 6 of Peyton, the 41 of Methvin. White flag will come to the air off of turn number 4. One more lap to go for the OX machine of Picue. Trevor Drake in second. Those two look to be moving on to tonight's Performance Bodies A main off of turn number 4. Checkered flag in the air. Steve Picue out of High Ridge, Missouri, wins B main number 2. So there you have it, your top 2 drivers to advance in the second place spot. The 12D of Trevor Drake and your B main winner out of High Ridge, Missouri, the 0X Steve Picue. He and Drake will move on into tonight's Performance Bodies A main for the Modifieds. And just like that, we will move into the third and final B main for the Modifieds. Timmy Hill on the front row of this one out of House Springs, Missouri. His outside, Bate City, Missouri racer Shad Batter, the 73B. Row 2 to the inside from Lathrop, Missouri, the 55D. That's Michael Dotson. To his outside, we will find Wesley Smith, the 101 out of Nixa. Row number 3 to the inside, John Yeoman III, the 84Y car, racing out of Joplin. And to his outside, the 66X. That is Dustin Campbell out of Nevada. On the outside of row 3, row 40 inside, John Langton out of Lampe, Missouri. That 35 car to his outside, Stephen Glenn, the 26S out of Hamilton, Missouri. Hodine out of Tulsa, Oklahoma will line up fifth row on the inside. Ho behind the wheel of the 39 car to his outside, the 31P. That's Mitch Parmley out of Hillsboro, Missouri. Your final starter in this one, scheduled to be the 01 of Corey Pankey out of Austin, Arkansas. Not seeing Pankey in this one. Believe he will scratch out of the lineup. I know he had a rough go of it in his heat race earlier tonight. So 10 cars, 10 laps, top 2 go to the show. Timmy Hill and Shad Batter on row number 1, ready to come to green off of turn 4. .55 of Dodson buzzes the tires just a bit on that restart, stacks up that inside groove, or inside lane, I should say. Nonetheless, we're able to fire him off. Timmy Hill will lead the field through turns 3 and 4 to complete lap number 1. Timmy Hill, the House Springs, Missouri racer, out in front of your field. Impressive race car with a Mullins engine under the hood for Hill. Just ahead of Shad Batter. Again, the top 2 drivers move on to final modified B main of the evening. Wesley Smith right now on the outside looking in, the 101 car. Stephen Glenn and John Yeoman run 3rd through 5th in this one. They'll have to race their way in as out in front. The 51 of Timmy Hill continues to blaze a trail around the Springfield Raceway here in the final modified B main. John Yeoman trying to challenge up to the outside of the 101 of Wesley Smith. Yeoman taking a look to the outside of Smith, trying to work up into the 3rd place spot. Good racing there for 3rd down the back straightaway. Smith to the inside, Yeoman to the outside. Look out. Smith is up in smoke. Caution comes out for the 31P of Parmley over on the back straightaway, just as what looked like an engine expiring on the 101 of Wesley Smith. So the 31 of Parmley was stalled out over on the back straightaway. That was the cause for the caution, but we saw Wesley Smith's 101 machine go up in smoke as well. As he stopped over in turn number 4. Tough break for Smith. He was in a door-to-door battle with the 84 of John Yeoman III. So Yeoman one spot out right now. We'll see what he can do with this restart. Timmy Hill, Shad Batter, the top two. Should be interesting to see what Yeoman can do with this restart, Shane. As we saw there for a moment, he was in a door-to-door battle with Wesley Smith. Now Smith out of the picture. We'll see what Yeoman can do with this restart.
Yeah, I know this might sound silly. I have crazy ideas, but when I think of B-feature racing, I think of musical chairs. I think like everybody's going in a circle and they're all fighting for a chair. And you got all these cars going in a circle and they're all fighting for them final two spots. And they get into that A main and they're going to do whatever it takes to get there because they've came all this way in front of this big crowd on the grandstands in the pit side, and they want to take home that turkey and that cash and that money and that big check and take it home and enjoy a great Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting. You know, Hodine, one of the racers in this B main, the 39 car, made the trip up from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's a long-time veteran, decades and decades of racing for Hodine, and I asked him over there in the pits, I said, have you ever been to Springfield Raceway before? And he hadn't before practice tonight, but running this B main, it was neat to see Ho up here, regular at the Creek County Speedway down outside of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Just good to see him coming up here and being a part of the show here with us this weekend. But absolutely, these guys all trying to crack into those top two spots. Just a stellar field of modifieds checked in. Michael Dotson, another good runner, just ahead of him as well. The 55D car on the outside looking in. The Lathrop, Missouri racers, some good cars will be setting this one out. As Shad Batter jumps out ahead of the field. They were trying to go single file there, and Batter kind of jumped out of line.
You get this late into the race season, Bryce, and it just, a lot of tracks have already ended their season, but a lot of drivers are still willing to race and they want to get to racing, and a lot of drivers, that's why we have 200 cars checked into tonight's race here at the Turkey Bowl, is these drivers aren't ready to hang up the helmet just yet in the 2019 racing season.
So here we go. Caution lights have gone down. The final B main for the modifieds. The final two drivers to make it tonight's 2,000 win, 300 to start. Performance Bodies A main. We're getting ready to find out who they are. Green flag to the air, and we're back underway. John Yeoman III trying to get that 84 car wound up along the top shelf of the speedway and race his way into the show. Topside Westland Dixie right now. We'll keep an eye on the 84 car. Shad Batter still working the hub of the speedway in the second and final transfer spot as the 51 of Timmy Hill leads your field out in front of this one. Oh, and we got some trouble over in turn number 4. Hodine around at the bottom of turn 4, and the caution flag will wave. So the Tulsa, Oklahoma racer, Hodine, with some trouble down in turn number 4. Ho's son, Brandon Dean, had also come up here to run the Daniel Abrams-owned 15 car and lost a motor last night in practice, so unfortunately Brandon was unable to be with us here this evening, or at least race with us here this evening, but Ho having some trouble as well.
For all of your latest videos, go to videos.showmedirt.com.
Timmy Hill back to the green flag. Yeoman showering sparks off the right rear quarter panel down the main straightaway. Yeoman was all up on the concrete on that restart. Out in front, Timmy Hill, the 51, and the 73 of Shad Batter. White flag coming to the air. One more lap to go for the 51 of Hill. Batter in second, Yeoman in third. So Yeoman on the outside looking in. 2 more turns to do something. Checkered flag in the air. Timmy Hill wins the B main. Second will go to Shad Batter. Yeoman and Langton third and fourth in this one. So there you have it. Shad Batter takes the final transfer spot in that one. Shad Batter will move on along with your B main winner to House Springs, Missouri. An impressive race car with a Mullins Racing engine under the hood. The Extreme brand products, number 51, Timmy Hill, your winner in the final B main for the Modifieds.